Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile with a message for everyone paying big wireless way too much. Please, for the love of everything good in this world, stop. With Mint, you can get premium wireless for just $15 a month. Of course, if you enjoy overpaying, no judgments, but that's weird. Okay, one judgment. Anyway, give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan, equivalent to $15 per month required. Intro rate first 3 months only, then full price plan options available. Taxes and fees extra. See full terms at mintmobile.com.
Welcome to episode 6 of the Wilderness Podcast. Today is October 10th, 2016. I'm your host, Dills, and my co-host, Deegan.
Hey, what's up?
How you doing over there?
Hey, pretty good. Thanksgiving just happened, so, the aftermath pretty much.
Yeah, pretty slow week.
Yeah, schoolwork, but yeah, in terms of RuneScape, not too much. I started NMZing on the weekend and get my stats ready to start bossing finally. But other than that, yeah, not too much.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. It feels like there's a giant hill you hit when you're level 90. You're kind of too low to solo any boss, but you're really close. You just got to get over that little hump, once you're 110 or so. But just that's the long stretch.
Yeah, I mean, depending, you could do some Zulrah, you could do some KBD. Depending on your stats, really, but
yeah, but nothing too worthwhile.
Yeah, nothing fun, at least what I would call fun.
You been jamming anything else besides RuneScape?
Actually, I don't think I have. I think I've just been playing RuneScape. Yeah.
True.
What about you, though?
True. Yeah, basically same. Been a pretty slow week, and yeah, just Thanksgiving, and you should see my fridge. So I have a bunch of leftovers just from, Thanksgiving, obviously, but today also my girlfriend's parents came by just to check out the house and stuff. And I didn't think they were going to be coming so early, but they came because they said they're going to be coming around lunchtime or so. And usually lunchtime on the weekends is 2 o'clock. That's what I would say. They came at 11 though, and I was still sleeping. So I had to panic, get ready and all this stuff. And they're like, okay, we got lunch. We're bringing KFC. And I was like, oh, God, I'm eating KFC for breakfast. This is going to be rough.
God. That's nasty.
So we have a bunch of leftover KFC. We have some of a cake because they brought it because it was her mom's birthday as well next week.
Yeah.
And there's just so much shit in my fridge of just leftovers, KFC. There's pies, cakes. It's brutal, and that's all I've been eating all day. So I'm just been in a food coma, permanently.
Yeah, it's Thanksgiving.
Yeah, that's all right. Video game wise, I actually got what game? It's called Stardew Valley. I picked it up just yesterday. I just randomly got it because I saw it on Steam, and
yeah.
So I decided to just pick it up. So it's $15. I was like, fuck it, I'm just gonna pay for it.
Yeah, I think there's only one developer for that game. I think it's just one dude.
That's what I've been told, and he's been putting out a lot of updates and stuff, and apparently he's made a lot of money as well off of it.
Oh yeah, when that game first came out, there was such a huge wave of hype for an indie game like that. I got it pretty much the day it came out, and yeah, it's pretty fun. A lot Harvest Moon.
Yeah, have you played a lot of it?
A decent amount. Well, not really. I got to winter the first year, and then I just kind of and then I just kind of slowly stopped playing.
Yeah. So yeah, it's a game. It's like Harvest Moon. If you ever played it, Harvest Moon, I guess, kind of Animal Crossing too. You'll enjoy that game a lot. So I've been playing it. Yeah, it's a sweet game, and I like the idea of it being an one developer because you hear so many tragic stories. You know what I mean? Of just what is it? Early access and games being released that just aren't finished. Fucking
oh yeah, there's games that
No Man's Sky.
I mean, that should be in early access right now. It's not really finished.
You know what I saw on Reddit? It has one of the worst the worst ratings on Steam.
Yeah, it's got like the record for shittiest game pretty much.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. I mean, man, there's still games I have in my library that I bought like 3+ years ago that were in early access and still are. Like, it's ridiculous.
Name some of the games that you bought in early access that have just tanked and that aren't gonna be released.
Well, I usually refund them, but here, let me check right now what I have. Oh god, let me scroll through these. Oh god. Shit, where are they? The Forest is a big one. That's a huge one. The Forest. It's your typical like survival game.
Is it supposed to be like kind of a horror survival game? With crafting and stuff too?
Your plane like crashes and you like end up in a forest. And then there's like
cannibals. Yeah, okay.
That game, I hope it is. Yeah, it's in 0.47.
Has it moved up since you bought it? Because I remember hearing that was supposed to come out for PlayStation 4. My girlfriend actually told me about it, and it seemed alright.
Actually, the last update was a month ago, but it was they're just hot fixes.
Yeah, alright.
Yeah, I have like a lot of those types of survival games. I mean, I think The Long Dark is still in early access. I actually don't know. But that's actually, it's another survival game. You're like out in the Canadian wilderness in the middle of winter. But cool. That game is actually really fun, but it's been in early access for friggin' like ever. Shit, I have so many of these games like I should refund.
Yeah, I'm looking at my list too now. That's Steam.
I don't know if Starbound is an actual officially released game, but that game, the developer said they do so much, and it's just like a really weird like space version of Terraria. That's pretty shitty. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of shitty games in early access. I usually just like play them for an hour and sit on them, and if nothing happens, I just refund them.
There's been a huge surge in space games. It seems like there's always that hot theme of a game, because it was zombies before space. It seems like it was like zombies everything. That kind of slowed down, and now we have fucking what was it? What'd you call it? Starbound?
Yeah.
Starbound, Star Citizen, Elite Dangerous, No Man's Sky, Rebel Galaxy, Galaxy S. Is it? Wait, no. I can't remember what's Galaxy.
It's like, those survival and like just space exploration games are like really popular kind of suddenly.
Yeah. I wonder what's gonna be next. I was looking at mine, and one game I know I got burned hard on is the Stomping Land, because apparently I remember kind of just paying attention to it, and I was reading the subreddit, and there was a time where they're just like, you should refund the game now because it's getting pulled off the Steam store. But apparently there was 3 guys working on it, and after they started getting too money, 2 guys bailed, and it was just left with one dude who was like, fuck.
Yeah. I remember you and Chunky actually telling me to get it. I think it was Chunky as well, and I never got around to it.
Because that was like the first survival dinosaur one. You're like, oh, sweet.
Yeah, shortly after, I think Ark came out. Ark Survival Evolved, and then they went esports.
What?
They pretty much... I actually don't know if it's still a thing, but the game became super popular. Like, I was so into the game at one point. It's like a Rust, but dinosaurs. You can capture and ride dinosaurs and ride pterodactyls and Argentines.
So wait, let's explain these survival games, just in case like some people haven't played it. There's like this another surge of these type of games where it was like these survival crafting games. Deegan, you explain them because you played a lot more than I have.
Yeah, it's like the survival games are pretty much like you'll join a server or something, and you just have to like, get resources to like build houses, get food, you get weapons to defend yourself, and when you die, you lose everything, or, they can destroy your house or take it over. It's just kind of like, super roguelike, as in just like your progression is like not permanent at all. Like, you're just going to constantly be getting killed and getting wiped off of servers and all that stuff. And the general, you're just trying to survive, I guess. They just, you craft tools, you cook food, you eat it, you kill people.
Yeah, and then a lot of these games are on other server. Like I'm pretty sure all of them. They're servers, so you're facing other people on the server too. You can kill and steal this stuff, or you can team up. And a lot of them have been having like temperature stats where like if it gets too cold, your guy will die or something. If it gets too hot, and same with like bleeding out and shit like that. I'm trying to think. Oh yeah, hunger and thirst.
And stuff, yeah.
Those are big ones too.
Yeah.
So you got to manage all that. Well, they're kind of fun, but you really have to dedicate a lot of time to them.
It becomes like those games like Rust and Ark, like those games like really stand out for me. And it's because like those are the types of games that like you have to always be playing it. Like I think I said it before, and like when I was playing Rust a lot, me and my buddy were hanging out, and it's like 4 a.m. and he just kind of like obsessively checks our base and then finds out these little kids are trying to raid us at 4 a.m. And then there we are, like up for an hour defending it, and you just want to go to bed.
See, I've watched a bunch of like videos and stuff about Rust, and the game itself looks like really cool. I like the concept of it. So I bought it with some friends, and we decided to play on the same server and kind of build a base together. We spent maybe 2 hours or so just making a little base. I made a little section of it.
Yeah.
And then I think I had to go do something, or I just got off the computer for a bit. I came back like 5 hours later, and my little group was just like, yeah, we had to relocate. We met up with these other people, and somebody raided and destroyed all of our stuff. And I was like, oh, all right, well, we have a new group now, so let's go, and I'll build off of it. So they had a nice little base with like kind of like walls and stuff, but I wanted to be like my own separate base. So I built off of it on the other side of the walls. Yeah. And I went really hard on it. Like I spent 4 hours maybe doing it. And then I remember this was on a Sunday. So then I got off and I came back 2 days later. Something like that, just because with work, I was just too busy. Didn't feel like playing it.
Yep.
And my whole base was destroyed. And I was like, oh, fuck this game. Why? Like, how the hell? The only way to prevent that is by playing often,
or like having like a really, really well hidden base that people don't find.
Yeah, that's true, but it's like hard when you're playing with other people.
Like, there's been times where I've just played on my own, waiting for friends to like, oh shit, Deegan's playing. Yo, man, you want to play together? Because that's usually how it happens. Like one of us will play, and the next thing you know, there's like 9 of us like working together. But I'll like log on like a month later onto the server, and like nothing's been touched, server hasn't been wiped or anything, and you're like, all right, like I guess I hit this well.
But pretty cool.
As much as like I want to say I hate Rust, just because like when I play it, I feel like I obsessively play it just to like never lose.
Yeah,
I like actually have never had as much fun in the game as like Rust and Ark. Like those more of Ark, like just so many good memories, and it's so fun having like 5 or 6 buddies like. You just see, like, another base. We always call them the neighbors, just people that live near us that we're gonna fuck up one day.
Yeah.
And then we just, like, we wait for them, like, we'll have someone scouting, wait for them to go out and get supplies, and then we just raid them, and, like, so much fun. Like, I've had it where me and my one buddy are, like, up on their 3rd floor, and we blew out all their stairs so they can't climb up to us. And then all my buddies outside have got killed, and we have to, like, find out a way to steal all their shit and then escape from the base, and like we'd like blow open a wall, like look out, blast like 2 or 3 guys, jump down, and just like kind of crawl away with a broken leg and like end up escaping them. Like so many sick moments like that where it's just like, that's like what makes Rust super fun.
And see, stories and videos like that is why I bought the game, because they're really cool and it sounds like a lot of fun. But the only problem is, yeah, it's something where I would need to book off like 2 weeks for vacation and be like, okay, I'm going to go no-lifing on this game and I'm going to conquer a server.
Well, that's the thing. You need like a group of friends, and then like, you don't know how many times me and my friends have like, we start on a server and it's like, we just get wiped out so fast. We've actually been wiped out because one of my friends left a door open and someone just walked in and took everything we had because we just started and we had like guns and shit.
Yeah.
So many times where it's been like, oh, fresh wipe. Like, all right, everyone's starting from like, from 0, and someone finds like an AK and then it just gets stolen from us. Like so much stupid shit. We've actually had it where I log into a server with my buddy and he builds in the base in the spot where I always build. So I went and built one on the other side of the fucking game, and then we find out that we're both like competing against each other in the same valley or something.
Huh.
And like we're just like fighting each other, but we're actually doing it so when our buddies get on, we already have a base for them. Just like so many stupid little things like that. And then I don't know.
That game is pretty fun. It's something I might jump on before, but there's a lot of... It'd be like playing RuneScape, and you're stuck into the wilderness. Like, cool moments happen, but there's a lot of lulls in between where it's nothing happening.
Yeah.
Yeah, those games are pretty cool. And let me tell you about my RuneScape week, because I had some cool little moments. Well, actually, probably just one. So... I haven't really done too much on RuneScape for the most part, as in progress-wise. I was just kind of dicking around, and I decided to do some Slayer, so I was doing some Slayer here and there, and decided... a while back, not too long ago, maybe in the summer, they released an update where they're in level 12 Wilderness, there's an altar, and around it, there's these Elder Chaos Druids, and they're like level 103 or something, or 130, and they'll mage you, but... You can pray mage and like you can protect from the damage with pray mage, and there's an altar right there, so you can permanently pray against them without having to worry about food. You can just loot them. Plus, in the wilderness, you got a looting bag. So, anyways, yeah, they dropped these robes now, which range from 500 to 1.2 mil, 500k to 1.2 mil a piece. There's 3 pieces, and they're in between there. So, I was killing them for a bit. I kind of thought, like, it'd be a good way to kind of PVM and PK at the same time. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, I bring my old setup, and I bring some gear, and I wear monk robes, though, just to make it look like I'm PVMing, but I bring 1 or 2 too many items that look like if a PKer saw me, they could get maybe 60k off me. Nothing too much, but... You know, it's barely any work to get that money, so...
Yeah.
But in my inventory, I had Teleblock, the Entangle, and... Which is... it's like level 80 or something, magic spell, and it makes them so it prevents them from moving.
Yep.
And I had Mystic robes to swap out of my Monk's robes in. And then I brought some food, too, but that's the thing about being in that spot. I left 2 spots open... And that's what I use to deposit my looting bag. Because they drop a lot of herbs, like a lot of ranars and stuff as well. So you're still making money if nobody shows up. So anyways, I'm sitting there and just kind of killing them. And this guy, level 90, rolls up. And he's wearing just kind of granite top, rune plate legs, the Neat's Knot helmet.
Yep.
And anyways, he goes there. He does the emotion, and he's... fighting the double agent dude, kills the double agent. And at first I was thinking, I'm just gonna leave him be because that's, I don't want to make ruin his clue. But I was thinking, what if this is his reward? I could kill him and he could drop, let's just say, Robin Hat or something. So I said, fuck it. I turn around, go ham on him, TB him, Entangle, DDS, and then I end up killing him really easily. And man, he had 2 mil cash on him, and I have a picture of it, so maybe I'll put it on Twitter, or maybe I'll put it on the Facebook. But
Jesus Christ,
2 mil cash on him, and some other little things that were worth, like 10k and stuff like that. But
yeah, who the hell brings 2 mil out in the wilderness with them? What the hell?
Yeah, because I mean, sometimes people pull out money when they're doing their clue scroll just so they can. Use it to pass through gates or take boats places. But I always take like 10k. He must have just been lazy. How do you not deposit any of that money and just run? And the thing is, he ran past me. He saw me and he was kind of just like, oh, it's just the guy doing killing the druids. He won't touch me. And I'm not even kidding. It took me 3 DDS specs and he was dead. Like, I didn't even finish.
Just free money.
Special. Yeah, it was unbelievable.
Jesus.
So...
Easiest PK ever.
Yeah, I was so hyped. I was like, what the fuck? I was just in awe. On top of that, he actually brought runes and stuff, but he brought like 100 law runes and shit like that, so whatever. Maybe, I guess it'll teach him a lesson not to bring fucking 2 mil into the wilderness.
Yeah. That's something he has to learn if he's gonna do that.
Yeah, man. What if he brought 10 mil one time? Yeah. I saved him. That guy should be thanking me.
Yeah.
So anyways,
you should have turned on your private chat just to see if he would shit talk you or something.
I was thinking about it because I was going to be... When I first killed him, I was like, no way. And I felt kind of guilty. I was like, oh, that sucks. That was my first reaction. Because I was like, what if he was an Iron Man or an Ultimate Iron Man? At first I thought he was an Ultimate Iron Man, and I checked the high scores and he wasn't. So I was like, oh, yeah, he's an idiot. He's level 90. Fuck him. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's his fault. It's the wilderness.
Yeah.
That's what you get.
So that happened. And then, so I got on kind of another little, I don't know, PK fever, I suppose. I went back in, decided to go back into Edgeville, do what I did before, and I ended up getting a kill off someone, and I got like 500k loot. Nothing special, just kind of what you normally would get in Edgeville, which if you haven't been there, it's kind of just a little bit of a cash stack drop from some of the items that aren't tradable, like Void or your Defenders, so it drops money instead. And, fucking rune boots, stuff like that. But I got like 500k worth. So that was pretty cool. And then I ended up dying, so it evened out in the end. And, yeah, that's basically it. And continued on with Slayer. I decided to do Swan Song. And, yeah, we'll get that done, I guess. Whatever.
Yeah, I mean, I remember really wanting to do Swan Song, and then now it's gotten to the point where, like, unless I just kind of want to AFK, get 99 fishing, then I'll do it, but...
The main reason I wanted to do Swan Song is, one, I ran out of lobsters, and I don't feel like buying lobsters, even though I just got the 2 mil, I could easily drop it on some, some food. But it's also because I got Stardew Valley, so I wanted AFK efficiently, I guess.
Yeah.
While I play that game. Which... Yeah, surprise. Okay, let's move on to the news then. It's, I guess kind of a quiet week.
Yeah, not too much has happened really. Besides,
Actually, can we back up? I wanted to say something.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I can't remember why I thought of this, but I was just thinking, since, we've played this for years, so I have a lot of stories of just being a kid and RuneScape kind of involved. But there was this one that was... It was so bad, like you almost couldn't believe it. So I'm probably, grade 8, grade 7. Let's say grade 7 or so. So I'm just a little kid. And this was back in the days where we had dial-up, like AOL. So the only times I could play RuneScape was when, like, certain hours when I guess the phone calls won't be coming in. Because, this is at my grandparents', so... They had strict hours I was able to play. It was kind of fucked up now I think about it. You can only play between 7 o'clock and 8 o'clock. And you only play between like 10 o'clock and 11. So there's like gaps in between.
Yeah.
Anyways, so I was playing this game a lot. And they kind of started noticing, and they're just like, "Oh, well, get off the goddamn computer! Why are you always playing?" And I was like, "No, this isn't just a video game, man. This is." So I noticed when real world trading existed, and that kind of shocked me. I was like, "You can trade video game money for real money." I'm like, what the fuck? So then my grandparents would pull out the card like, "Oh, you're just wasting your life on this stupid game." I'd be like, no, you don't understand. This is more than a game. This is fucking, this currency. Like, this has gold value, like money value in the real world. Yeah, exactly. So my grandpa was like, "Oh yeah, like show me." And I was like, "Okay, I'll show you." I Googled it before, and I clicked on like, RuneScape buy gold, whatever, and it would bring you to it. So then I clicked, and it's like, type in RuneScape gold for real money, whatever. Click on this link, like the third link down, and it brings you straight to like one of those Pornhub sites. But this was before the porn tubes and all that started, so it was like a gallery of just like girls getting double penetrated and cum shots and like them like close up sucking dick, but there's like tons of pictures. So I clicked that, and I'm like, oh shit, that's the wrong one. I clicked back, my grandpa's like, whoa, wait, what the hell? My god, what the hell was that? And I was just like, no, I don't know, that wasn't the RuneScape gold though. That's a completely different thing. That doesn't have RuneScape involved at all. He's like, no, hold on a second. And then he calls for like my grandma. He's like, Jerry, get over here. And I was like, oh my god, what's going on? He's like, look at Dylan, show him, click it. And I was like, oh, for fuck's sakes. Like, I just want to play RuneScape. Can you guys leave? So then I'm like, ugh. So I like click the porn site, I guess. click that link again, and I just like kind of duck and cover because my grandma's like, that is disgusting. She runs over and calls her internet provider, and she's like, I want this website taken down right now. And, like, she's going hard, like, calling people saying, this filth shouldn't be on the internet. And I'm just like, oh, you're so ignorant. But I was just like, I guess I'll show you guys about the real-world trading later. I'm going to go back and play RuneScape.
What if it was just like, Dylan, go back to that website. Oh, that's so gross. What was the name of that website? Oh, I better write that down so I can tell my friends. Oh, it's gross.
Yeah, that was just a quick little story that I was thinking about. I wanted to bring up.
That's why you shouldn't real world trade.
Yeah.
You might teach your grandparents that there's porn on the internet.
There's some lovely young lady taking 2 cocks in the ass right now.
You never believe what this lady did for an AGS.
Number 7 will shock you.
Clickbaiting.
Maybe I think every week I'll try to think of a little story that involves something stupid of when I was a kid. Because there's tons, including like getting scammed from the same person like 5 times in a row.
I remember, I think in grade 5 or something, like just moved, went to like a brand new school, and it's like day 1 or 2. And I have like not really friends, but like kids like, hey, you want to come play football with us? You know, I go play with them. Anyways, in class, there's this kid that was sitting next to me, and I guess like the Scholastics like book fair, if you guys remember what that was, where like Scholastics would come and sell you books.
Oh, I fucking love Scholastics.
Yeah.
Well, I just want to say, you know what? Yeah. I used to collect the Animorphs books, which was like a novel about these people who could turn into animals, but they had like hundreds of them. And I tried to get every single one of them, and I don't think I've ever read one.
It was just cool.
The covers were cool, and I was, yeah. Anyways, sorry, go on.
But yeah, so I guess the Scholastics book fair had just come through my school, and I assume, well, obviously I guess, but they sold a RuneScape handbook, and it was just, and and like,
that's so sick.
Oh my god, if I was able to get that, like, anyways, yeah, so I see this kid next to me, and it's during like our little reading period, like free read, I don't know, hour, I guess, or something. I guess just after lunch, kids gotta calm down, so they just make him read quietly for an hour. And he was reading like the RuneScape hand guide, and I was like, oh my gosh, like, gee, you play RuneScape? I play RuneScape too. And he's like, yeah, like me and my brother play it. And like they're both in my class, and like we just like sit around and start talking about RuneScape and stuff and all this shit. And like I remember us being like, we were like going through it together, and we found out that like a rune plate body had a better slash defense. Or than Rune Chain, and then Rune Chain had a better crush defense than Rune Plate Bodies. We're like, oh my god, we should bring both of these when we go PK in the wilderness, like all this stupid shit, just being like little kids. And I don't know why the hell I said this, but they like asked like Derek, what level are you? And I don't know what level I was at the time, but I'm like you know, level 40, but I know how to get any account in RuneScape I want. And they're like, no, you don't. And I don't know why the fuck I said this, but I told them that I knew a code, or I was trying to find out a code that was like a universal password. Even though I didn't use these words back then, I probably said something a lot stupider, but I pretty much convinced them that I'm like unlocking or I'm hacking a code that you type into anyone's password and you get their account.
Hunter123.
Yeah. Like, something like that.
Or Hunter.
And I remember
ones,
like
right?
2 weeks later, they came to me with like a list of a bunch of accounts that are like over level 100. Like, Derek, we can hack all of these accounts. Oh my god. And I just like, I remember like it getting like to the point where like every week they'd be like, have you got any further in the password? I'd be like, yeah, C. That's the next letter I unlocked. And like just stupid shit like that. And they believed me for so long. And then they're like, Derek, we just need one more letter. And I'm like, RuneScape came out with an update. It doesn't work anymore. And like, oh man, like, oh, that sucks. I'm like, yeah, you know what? Maybe I'll start working on it later and try and figure it out again. Yeah, that's awesome. Like, that's how I made my first couple friends at school. I fucking made the biggest lie ever about knowing how to hack anyone on RuneScape.
Those jokes.
Yeah.
That's a little blast from the past segment. That's what we're going to have from now on. So let's continue on with the news. So yeah, it's been a pretty slow week. There's
Yeah. Little tidbits here and there.
So, let's start. We had an update of. Actually, this is I guess it's big, but not big at the same time. If that makes sense. I think it's big because, well, anyways, they released a new boss. It's like a mini boss called the Hill Giant boss. The reason I'm saying I think it's pretty big, it's because it's free to play. So that's fucking sick. I'm glad free to play players can actually do something that's better than killing greater demons at 48 wilderness.
Yeah.
So, and not great because, it's not dropping anything too intense. But yeah, it's not bad. It drops a new weapon, which is a Hill Giant Club. And, I haven't done it because I wanted to try to do it, but every place is so crowded. I just, Stardew Valley, man, I can't be fucked and spend an hour to get a key.
Yeah.
Crops need tendon.
It might be good if you just want to do it for fun, just to wait a couple weeks for the hype to die down.
Yeah, no kidding. I think free-to-play will always be pretty packed. Actually, it might always be pretty packed in general by lower levels, but you actually did kill it, so...
Yeah, well, I was going to say, the boss is geared towards people with, 50 attack, strength, and defense, so it is easy, for members and stuff. If you're free-to-play, I did 18... I only got 18 kills on it, but the highest it hit me was 24. And I would just protect melee and attack it the whole time, and he does this little line attack that I wasn't able to dodge. I would try and dodge at different distances just to figure out if you can, and I wasn't really successful. But I think it's considered a range attack, but you're supposed to just kind of sit in melee protection. But yeah, anyways, so you kill the Hill Giant, you get the keys. It's kind of like AIDS if there's a lot of people. I was that douche that would just set up a cannon. And I would just crash worlds and just kill so many Hill Giants.
How rare would you say the key is?
I'm gonna say it felt one.
You got 18 kills. How long did you spend? How long were you there for?
So that was 5 hours of cannoning, but I was getting a kill every second or two. I was dropping them so fast, it was ridiculous. I want to say the drop rate might be 1 out of 128. I looked on the Wikia and it was all wrong. It said it was uncommon, but it's probably more to the rare side. Okay, I got 18 kills. I think I got 12 curved bones. So that should be
how much
a good
money did you make from it? Is this a good money?
So yeah, I'll go over everything. Okay. So out of the 18 kills, I got I guess I won't go into the numbers, but yeah, I got some nature runes, some chaos and laws. I guess I should go in the numbers. Yeah, I got 145 nats, 270 chaos, 76 laws, 50 death runes, and you get limp roots. You can get noted limp roots, so you get 20 of those. And then off a kill, you can get 50 big bones. I end up getting 100.
Damn.
Yeah, I got 84 cosmic runes. I got rune plate legs, skirt. I got 2 rune kites, a rune medium. I got 5 uncut diamonds and rubies, and I got a giant key, and it's kind of nice. You can kill the boss, and you have a chance to get a key to go right back in.
I was going to say, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, and lucky me, just my luck, I get a Hill Giant Club.
No way.
Yeah, my 18th kill, that's when I stopped. Because...
Did you sell it?
Instantly, went straight to the GE and sold it. I got 34k worth of coins. He would drop some money.
I thought you were going to say that's how much you got for the Hill Giant Club.
No, at the time, actually, I sold it for 2.5 mil, and really shortly after, the price crashed, way harder.
Is it? How much is it now? Do you know?
I actually don't know, but it's not that much. People are speculating the drop rate, and I don't know if it's confirmed, but a lot of people came to conclusions 1 out of 500 or something.
Oh wow.
Or close to that. And so yeah, I got really lucky. That's pretty nice. And yeah, I was able to get it on day 1. And if I didn't have school that day, I would have made because I think the first club sold for 7 mil.
That seems so low because this is a new free to play item. I'm surprised we're not looking at 30 mil for the first one.
Well, if you look at okay, when they came out with gilded scimitars, I think the first one sold for either 30 or 40 mil, and you have to do clue scrolls, so only members can get them, but free to play people can wear them. So it's
I know the gilded. If you get a gilded scimitar, that's That's a nice chunk of change. I'm going to check right now how much it's worth.
Yeah, no,
14.7 mil. That's nice.
Yeah, it definitely is pretty nice. But yeah, that's the thing. Guild Scimitars, like it's a lot harder to get in terms of like you have to do the clue scroll as a member, and then the chance of getting it is so low. And yeah, so like, I guess that's why it's so much. With the Hill Giant Club, like anyone can really get it, but so like it took me 18 tries, and that was over 5 hours of cannoning and like doing it like pretty much like as efficiently as I could do it. Like, yeah, I would cannon in full void, sit in a safe spot, and then just blow pipe. And I was like focused for 5 hours. Like I wasn't AFKing. I was like doing the best I could to like get them as fast as I could. And that took me 5 hours, and I got really lucky. But there's times where I'd go like 20 minutes dry without a key. Yeah.
Did you only stay in the Edgeville dungeon for
yeah,
Hill
but
Giants?
I had like the world I was in was mine. Like I came in, dropped my cannon, people were like being like, "Oh, you're a fucking piece of shit, man." And I just kind of like, "Well, content, baby." And then I just sat there. I actually just sat there for 5 hours cannoning. I had it in like the best spot you can put it in. You can hit like 6 or 7 hill giants from it, and just constantly tagging. I ended up me and then one like 40 was in the world at one point. Like, so it was pretty much empty for me. And
so, do you know if you can get the keys from other hill giants, or do they have to be in Edgeville?
Yeah, you can get them from any hill giant. It doesn't have to be in Edgeville. And I think that's because there's a lot of hill giants all over the place. And I think everyone just kind of assumed to go to Edgeville Dungeon, but there's ones near the Watchtower that's kind of near like Castle Wars, and there's a lot of spots where there's groups of hill giants that were like empty, like people just kind of forgot about. But if you're
here's
free
something
to play,
keep in mind too, though. You can collect more than one key. So you go to somewhere obscure that's away from the Edgeville, because that's the Edgeville Dungeon. That's where the boss's area is located, and you can just bank a bunch of keys, right?
Yeah. See, I didn't know that at the time. If I knew that, I would have went straight to the Watchtower spot. I thought you could only have one at a time.
Okay, you know where I think I would go if I was going to really grind out a bunch of keys?
Where's that?
Zaya Catacombs. Because first off, there's a bunch of hill giants there.
Yep.
It's multi-combat. And they also have a chance of dropping totem pieces. Oh,
yeah,
man. Wait,
I was thinking that, but sorry, go on.
No, give your opinion, but I want to cut it with a little story. I should have said this.
I was going to say I was thinking about that, but I'm 99% sure you can't cannon in the catacombs.
No, you can't. But you
that's
can
what
barrage
prevented me.
Yeah, that's true. Okay,
yeah.
Well, that's still where I would go, but let me just say this real quick. So,
yeah. I do a lot of my Slayer tasks when I can in the catacombs because, like I said, they drop totem pieces, and depending on the higher levels, you get a better chance of getting the totem pieces. So you need 3 of them, and then you bring it to the middle of the catacombs area, and you can fight this little, they call it a demi-boss, like a mini-boss, but fuck it, man, I'm calling him a full-on boss. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, so I got my full totem piece, and then I remember just reading about him, and people were saying, yeah, he's really not that hard. You can just literally tank, like, pray and tank the whole fight. You don't have to do any of the mechanics they put in. So I was like, cool. Got my Arc Light, because he's weak to that. Yep. I get some prayer potions, and I bring, like, 5 lobsters, because I was like, because afterwards I was expecting to go straight back to doing Slayer. And the reason I like the slaying there is because it's multi, and a lot of them are aggressive, so you just pray, and then you can kind of AFK, and they'll just keep attacking you. So, yeah, I brought a bunch of prayer potions, but I didn't bring that much food, because I was like, I don't need to use the food afterwards. So I go in, and I start fighting. I'm like, oh, fuck, this guy's, he does a magic attack as well.
Yep.
And so you're in this area that you can't leave, and if you die, you lose the items. You lose the items that you have. It gives you a warning beforehand. I was like, cool, man, I'm glad they're making it, some unforgiving places.
Yep.
So when you're in the fight, he'll melee you, and he'll drop like a magic spell on you every now and again that you can't dodge, as well as there's these statues that kind of light up, and you have to kill them every now and then, or you get weakened. The first time I was like, fuck it, I'm just not gonna kill the statues, I'm gonna fight them all the way through. So I had 5 lobsters, and I ran out of lobsters, but I killed them. I was like, ooh, that would have been bad. I go back a second time, and I bring like 12 lobsters, and I was like, okay, this should be way more than enough, because I finally got another totem thing, and yep. I decided to actually get the statues too, because they help out a lot. And man, I ended up dying. I was so upset because I was like, oh no. I had my fire cape, my Barrows gloves, my defender. I had all these items that were like so hard to get. Not the Barrows gloves and stuff like that, but like the torso and shit like that. I was like, no, now I gotta fucking get my fire cape again, which took me fucking, 15 years to get, let's just say. But so I died, and I guess this is kind of a complaint, because I like when games have, I like when RuneScape has kind of a risk to it. I don't want it to be unfair where if you get DDoS, you lose all your items, but at the same time, and I died, and I kept every item except for the prayer potions in my inventory. I was like, that's it? Like, I just lost my prayer potions? Yeah, that sucks, but I got more in the bank. I kept all my items. The only equipment I lost, I think, was my I had initiate legs. So I lost those.
Yeah, I think in general, you'll always keep your untradables unless you're in 20 or above wilderness.
Yeah, so I didn't know that, and I thought I was going to lose my fire cape because I had, 7 items. But yeah, I just want to cut it and say that. So, what do you think about the Hill Giant Club?
I used it for a little bit, but it's pretty much the exact same as a Rune two-hander. It's the best in slot crush weapon for free to play. It swings just like an Obby Maul. It's the exact same animation. The only difference between like if you're comparing the stats wise and slash and crush and stuff with the Rune two-hander is that it's 69 accuracy for crush. Whereas, a Rune two-hander is 70 for slash.
Huh.
And, the only real use it has in free-to-play is, PKing. I don't know anyone who'd be PVMing. There's not really much to PVM in free-to-play, but, Hill Giants or Moss Giants or whatever, you're not going to be using that. You're going to be using a Scimitar, right? Because that's just,
exactly.
The best in slot type of, DPS weapon.
Mm-hmm.
And it kind of, the one thing I'm kind of confused about is, why... in comparison to, Rune two-handers and, clubs, it is so much harder to get. You can, it's just way harder to get, and it's always going to be more expensive than a Rune two-hander, it should be, but a Rune two-hander is still better in PvP, because, if you're a low-level pure, and you're PKing someone, and both you guys have one defense, chances are is that you guys are going to be wearing either monk robes or dragon hide. Sometimes they'll wear, iron plate body, and that's the only time the club will come in handy, is against anyone in plate body. But if you're a higher level, most people, if you're in the high 80s, 90s, 100s or whatever, most people, they do no armor fights, right? You can ask for it, but yeah, generally you'll take off all your rune plate armor. And then you'll just attack with your weapon. And so, it really... obviously it's fun to use, right? It's probably so fun to use. Just, a way cooler alternative than a Rune two-hander, and it's something new, but, it's not good in terms of, what it's probably going to be used for. It's pretty much always better to be using a Rune two-hander.
But it does have one higher strength bonus, right?
I always thought the strength bonuses were the same, but if not... I don't know how much of a difference
I will pull it up, but, sorry, keep going over your thoughts on it.
Yeah, animation and, art-wise, I actually, really, really like how it looks, but, I don't know, I think, just, if you're using it, yeah, shit, you can just use it if you want, but if, someone wants to, min-max and be using the best and, every stat counts type of a thing, in general, it's gonna, 99% of the time, it's better to be using a Rune two-hander, unless you're Rune plate against Rune plate, and you're no, let's fight with armor on. But...
Yeah, they do have the same strength bonus. That's very upsetting.
I do think it should be the best in slot,
I do
overall in terms of this can hit the highest in free to play as a melee weapon.
Yeah, 100%. Because first off, PKing with in free to play, you have to kind of in Edgeville, it's on terms of honor for the most part when you're doing full rune. You're just hey man, can you try not to eat too much food and keep your health a little bit low just so I have a chance of killing you, and I'll do the same thing for you to get lucky and get a high hit. You know what I mean? Because in free-to-play, you will get called out for feeding. You'll get called out a bit in members, but not too much. Free-to-play, if somebody saves, somebody goes like, oh, for fuck's sakes, he's safe, because that's going to take like 5 hits to bring him down to half health again.
Yeah, that's the annoying thing with free-to-play. It's like, a lot of the people, they do safe, and it's like, I never will call them out. I'll never be like, you're a fucking safing noob. Like, usually if they're like safing hard, I just walk away and just say good fight and I'll just leave because it's not worth the time. But it is annoying because, like, let's say you can hit like a 10 with the bow and then like a 20 or like a 18 or something with your two-hander, and they're like sitting at 40 health the whole time. And you're like, well, like, what am I risking for? Like, am I going to get low so they can combo me? Like, I can't even combo them. Like, it takes all the fun out of PKing because you're like, yeah, it's pretty much if someone saves, there's nothing you can do about it. At least in members, you can get like a lucky, spec off. And
yeah, see, that's the thing. In members, you can consistently hit high, so like they're just like, they might save, but if you get a bunch of combos in a row, there's no food they can use that's going to protect them from it.
Yeah,
and
unless you're like a max free-to-play PKer, like it's...
no,
saving's even kind of an issue.
Even still, because like, yeah, you're eating like lobsters, but Rude Two-Hander is really okay. Yeah, maybe if you're max, but like Rude Two-Handers are so slow too. So yeah. I was expecting originally when the club was coming out, I was thinking it was going to be stronger than a Rune Scimitar. So then when it came out, and it was like, no, it's going to replace the Rune Two-Hander. I was like, okay, it's got to be stronger by like enough for people to be like, yeah, I'm going to be using this in the wilderness.
Yeah.
Right now, it's literally, to me, it's no different than having Rune Plate versus Zamrock Rune Plate. It's just something that looks cooler. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's more expensive, but it's pretty much it.
It's a shame. I feel like they're a little scared to tune it too high, but make it a little bit stronger because it's free to play. And if you made it stronger, you'd have that's probably why it's so cheap. You know what I mean? It's basically going to go the ways of, like, Forgotten. No one in members will have it except for non-members, stuff like that. But,
yeah, like, no, my plan was to get one and then just throw it on my peer and just PK for fun.
Yeah.
But then I'm like, you know what? Like, I'm like, as of right now, I'm going to be risking 2.5 mil for nothing. Like, I might as well choose a Rune Two-Hander, and I just went and sold it.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, well. Yeah,
it's still nice to have that boss. It's still nice for a free-to-play to be like, oh, that's my goal. I want to be able to kill this guy 10 times.
Yeah, it was a good update. The rewards are still good. I just wish
they're good for free-to-play members, not for members.
I just wish it was a little bit stronger. And somewhere in between maybe a Rune Two-Hander and an Obby.
Yeah.
But let more of them. Anyways, Rune Two-Hander, sorry. But
let's continue on, because with that update came, they tweaked some of the items with Wintertodd, because Wintertodd was giving way too many seeds. And if you look at the prices, U seeds and other tree seeds and the seeds you received from it, they all crashed like 30% of what they were worth.
Yeah.
So that's pretty crazy. And now in Deadman mode, they have a 6-hour immunity in place. So before this, you'd go on, anyone could kill you, you could kill anyone. Now when you join, there's a 6-hour buffer where you're pretty much safe. And that's just to kind of prevent you from getting griefed by level 100s and 120s. So that's cool. Maybe I'll actually play some Deadman mode because, yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of cool things you can do.
Yeah, exactly. 6 hours is a long time.
Yeah, you can get pretty far ahead. You can get a lot of like important quests done in those 6 hours.
And so that's it for the updates, but they released kind of what they have in store for the month of October. So really, one of the updates that they mentioned before, which was called Iranian Altar. I think I'm saying that right. And again, this was something that was released back in 2007, and I guess they still have the file of the whole thing all finished. Maybe they're going to change a few things, but they're going to bring it to Oldschool Runescape. And yeah, that was where you runecraft. You bring your pure essence in, you give it to somebody, and he gives you a bunch of random runes instead. So that'll be cool to try out. I've never tried that. Coming along with that is, Halloween's coming up, and I gotta say, RuneScape always has fucking great holiday events, and they've been doing it for years.
Yeah, I've always enjoyed them.
Yes. Same. And the rewards are always pretty cool. And so I'm going to read the little paragraph that came with the little Halloween event. It says, deep within Lumbridge Swamp, a woman is found grieving a dying man. She speaks of a killer who has taken several lives in a nearby house and pleads for help to prevent the death of her friends who are still in danger. So the rewards you're going to get from that is a robe and a mask of some sort, and you get the teal skin, which I think is going to be... Yeah, like the old zombies.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. And
I like it a lot.
One thing they're really trying to do is prevent people who haven't played when the game first started from missing out on rewards. So when you complete this, you'll get all the other rewards you missed out of the past years, which is, again, I have mixed feelings about it because I think there's something to be said about having items that some of the veterans have played, so people can look back at somebody with white skin and be like, fuck. Well, anyways, someone with like white skin and just be like, shit, man, that guy's been playing since year one because I was released in only year one. I can't get in, I'm not gonna be able to get that, but let's see what's looking forward to. But anyways,
I agree with that, but also I have never got those rewards before.
Yeah, so that's where I'm mixed too. I haven't got them either, and the two skin colors, which was, I think it was white and black, but it's like, it's pitch white and pitch black. Does that make sense? So those always looked fucking awesome, and I wanted them, so yay, I can get them, so can everybody else. So I think this was in a Friends video a while back, but there was a guy with the black skin, and he was hiding in the wilderness in an area where people have to click on a web to cut. But the way what he was wearing, and I think he was wearing the ghostly robes or something like that, but he was basically invisible unless you looked at him in a certain direction. So people would click on him and get skulled, and then he would kill them.
Oh my god, that'd be so fun to do, though.
Yeah, maybe I'll try to find the video and link it on the YouTube and Twitter, because I gotta start using the Facebook and stuff more. I want to kind of upload, more pictures and stuff like that, just to
spice it up.
Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm. So that's about it. But they've also there's one more thing actually. So the continent of Zaya, when it first came out, and how it still is, a lot of people have complained if you haven't looked at it. It's basically a square, and there's 5 houses in it, and each one are basically perfect squares next to each other.
And they're all so far apart.
Yeah, so it's a little underwhelming in the visually. So a user by the name of General Tractor on the subreddit for RuneScape, 2000 RuneScape, he made his idea for how the map should look, and he put a lot of work into it, and it looked awesome. It looked like something you'd actually want to explore. That's the thing, the way the map layout now is kind of boring, so I haven't cared about exploring, at least. So, anyways, they released what they have in store for how Zaya's going to be looking. I don't know if that's going to be what Zaya's going to look like, if it's going to... Zaya's going to change to what this is going to look like in October, or if this is how far he's gotten, and if it's going to be released still in the future. So yeah, that's the news right there. Hey, Deegan, you want to take a quick break?
Sure.
We'll take a quick break. And we're back just in time for Deegan's hot topic.
So I was thinking we should probably talk about Deadman mode. Now is probably a good time because they've made a lot of changes, and just kind of want to hear your opinions and whatnot, and just have a little chat about Deadman mode.
Okay. So let's go over what Deadman mode is exactly. Do you remember when they first announced it? Actually, I think I told you when they announced it.
Yeah, that's kind of what made me want to get back into it. I think at this time I was at a little hiatus of RuneScape when they first released it.
Yeah, they did. I remember they just did a little stream, and I think I was playing it very casually. I was hop on every 5 days for an hour and a half there. I'd check out, the odd videos and streams.
Yeah.
Just doing other things. But anyways, I saw Oldschool RuneScape was doing a stream, and I think Mod Matt K, he threw out the idea of having kind of a game mode where it was kind of like the survival games we were talking about, where anyone can kill anyone, doesn't matter what level you are. The cities will be kind of safe areas, but it's only safe because the guards there will make them safe. As in, you attack somebody, they'll kill you. So he threw that idea out there, and I remember just tons of people went crazy for it. I remember hearing that idea and thinking, like, fuck, that's an awesome idea.
Yeah.
And shortly after announcing that, they said, okay, maybe we'll start working on it. I remember RuneScape 3 came out with their version. It was called Darkscape. And that was big on its own because that was going to be available for free to play as well.
Mm-hmm.
So, anyways, sometime afterwards, Darkscape closes down and Deadman mode's still going strong 3 tournaments later, 3 seasons later.
Yeah.
So.
Well, strong, kind of. The game seems to die out, like, really quickly. Like, after, like, on day 3, pretty much, like, 90% of the player base seems to be gone.
Yeah, that's true. When I say going strong, though, I just mean, like, still a lot of people are watching it. People get excited. I still like it, and I don't even play it, so.
Yeah, it's definitely, like, really fun to watch, and I like the invitationals and all that. It's really nice.
Okay. Do you want to go through what exactly Deadman mode is? Do you want me to?
Yeah, so pretty much Deadman mode is a game type or a game mode where you get increased experience, and when you die, you lose like a set amount of experience depending if you were skulled from attacking another player or just whatever.
And if you're a higher level or lower level than
them. And you'll lose experience, and I think the big thing is that you lose everything that's on you, like regardless, and like 90% of your bank. Like you keep like a couple items, but like your least valuable. So pretty much when you kill people, you get a key to their bank, and you can have up to 5 people's keys at a time. And yeah, like it's like a really like strive or die type of a thing. Like it's
the thing with the keys, like you being able to hold the 5 keys, it shows on your head how many keys you have.
Yeah.
So if somebody else, if you see someone with 5 keys, you're like, fuck it, I gotta get this guy.
Yeah, exactly. Kind of makes a little bounty on your head. But yeah, I don't know. It originally was going on for like 3 months or something, and now they've cut it down with this season down to 1 month because generally what happens is there's like power players that are able to play all the time, and they just get like ahead. They just get so far ahead. Day 3 they're PKing with ancients, and you can't teleport mid combat. If someone hits you, you can't teleport out or log out or anything.
Yeah, they changed that. There's a little buffer where you need to be out of combat.
Yeah. And yeah, so it's so pretty much like what's been happening, and like what has always been happening, what they're trying to fix is there's just a certain amount of players, like a small percentage, like let's say like 5 or 10% of the player base is able to play like 24/7, and they get so far ahead that they kill people knowing pretty much they're just going to end up quitting. And so like that 10% slowly grows to like 25% just because everyone keeps quitting, because you don't want to. No one wants to sit down for 5 hours and then just die to someone that's played for 12 hours. You know what I mean? Or whatever, has like 2 times the amount of play time, and like, oh, well, now I'm dead and now I'm really far behind and this guy's even further ahead. It's just going to happen again and again. And so, everyone just kind of ends up quitting. And the game mode seems to die out like really quickly, and it's kind of like a big issue for Deadman mode. Yeah,
and each season they're doing tweaks. So let's first make the distinction. There's 2 types of Deadman modes. There's Deadman mode, and then there's Deadman mode seasonal. So the non-seasonal, it's got a single world, and your account will never get wiped. When you do go on Deadman mode, you gotta start at level 3 and you start from the very beginning again. But on the Deadman mode, just Deadman mode, your account will stay like that even, years later unless they close it down.
Yeah.
The seasonals, you restart every season, every month, every 3 months, depending what they have set in place. And they have little tweaks to it. The non-Deadman mode, I'm pretty sure it stays kind of how it is.
Yeah, I played it for a little bit. Didn't really get too far because I think it was like level 5 or something, running to Falador, and someone just like ice barraged me and one-shotted me. And I was like, oh, that's why there's only 30 people in this world, kind of a thing.
And another thing that we should have to mention is that there's 2 things you gotta remember, you gotta keep in mind. You're able to protect 3 non-combat skills and 2 combat skills.
Yeah.
Am I getting that right?
Oh, no, sorry. I think it's just 2 of each. I'm not too sure though. I shouldn't.
You're
say
right.
that.
It might be 2 of each. Anyways,
Yeah.
point is you can protect a set amount of combat and non-combat so that when you do die, you won't lose any experience in it. Unless you're skulled, in which case you lose, I'm pretty sure, like half as much as you normally would. So you have that, and you also have kind of like a safe box in your bank where you can put items that you won't lose if you die. So, you know, some people like to liquidate a bunch of their items and buy one really big item that they can just sell when they need to.
Yeah, kind of keep
Throw
that
it
for
in there.
rebuilding.
Yeah, so they have that in place too. Yeah, that's basically the game mode. Have you played much of Deadman mode? Either of the styles?
Well, the one I played the most was probably Season 2. I played a little bit this season. I haven't done too much serious. I just kind of skill, and I just kind of trying to find out like a safe way to casually play Deadman mode and kind of see what rank I get. I probably put like an hour a week. You know what I mean? Like I've put like no time in it. But
And let me cut in quickly. With Deadman mode, it's very similar to the other, you know, games we were talking about earlier, the survival games, where you need to be dedicating a fair amount of time or you're going to fall behind or you're going to lose out on shit. So, sorry, continue.
But yeah, like, Season 2, I was on pretty much like, you know, first hour, and I actually got really far ahead to like most people, because I played like so much. Like, at the time I was able to dedicate a lot of time. Like, by day 2, I was just like killing so many people. I wasn't like, I didn't do anything like mage wise. Like I just kind of focused on range. But, like when it is really fun to like run around and fight people and whatnot. But generally what it kind of turns into is like, it's like a food chain, but like everyone you're fighting is just running away from you. So it's kind of, annoying, or people are like, you know, there's a lot of teaming up and whatnot. Actually, when I was like Season 2, I got stuck in like I got skulled. I had like 2 or 3 keys on me, and there was a mage, a ranger, and a melee guy. Like 3 guys, I guess they're all friends or something, and they ended up finding me near Port Sarum at that altar, like around that altar area, because at this point, like I was really far ahead, and I had really high range, and I had like 45 or 46 prayer, so I was able to protect from, you know, whatever, melee or whatever the hell I wanted. And so yeah, I was just sitting there like trying to be safe, and all 3 of them ganged up on me. I was able to kill 2 of them, and then I ended up getting, cause yeah, since they started attacking me and I was fighting them back, my timer didn't get reset. And yeah, when you attack people, you have a 30-minute timer. Probably should mention that, but I was able to kill 2 of them and escape, and you know, open up all the keys. And this leads to like one really big complaint is muling, which is when you have your main account and you trade everything over to like an alternate account that just sits in either Grand Exchange or at the bank or something. So when you die, you pretty much only lose what's on you. And so what people will do is, yeah, they just, you know, if they're questing, they just have their quest items on them, or if they're PKing, they'll just have their PK setup on them. And I probably killed like 20 or so people, and I think I had one kill that was legitimate. Like everyone mules so hard, and they've tried to combat it. They made it this season for a little bit where you couldn't trade, but you could just suicide your accounts, and there's no way you can track, you know, if someone's muling or not. Mm-hmm. And it's like they do have like a lot of, I'm not going to say there's issues with the game mode. I think it's issues with people within the game that are just abusing as many mechanics and concepts just to get ahead, like with the muling and all that stuff. Yeah, like I don't know, it gets kind of bad. Like it's fun, but they have to do something to kind of like even it out.
Yeah, I agree. I love how they're changing it every season, and hopefully they're going to slowly get it there. In which case, they can start tweaking things just for shits and giggles to make things fun.
Yeah.
My experiences with Deadman mode are like we said before. We both got super hyped. Game mode itself sounded awesome. So when it came out, I jumped on. I was like, I'm gonna fucking try this out. And I played the I think it's before seasonals even were a thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I played on a bit, and I had my kind of 6-hour timer, and I was still playing casually, so I was just like, it took me so long to get out of the 6-hour timer, and then I eventually just got back into my main and just kind of stopped playing it because I was like, I don't have enough time to ever get anywhere. And when I first got hard into the game again, I decided I'm gonna try to be good at Deadman mode, and what I did was I played my main just normally, and then I got my pure. I gave my pure members, and I would play Deadman mode on that account on the side. And then and at this point, it's a wasteland. There's like, if you look at how many people are playing now, there's probably like 70 or 80, 70 to 100 people. Really isn't too much, but hey, I'm glad people are still enjoying it. I'd be sad if it just disappeared.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I got back in. I started playing, and there's a lot of people in the game will be a higher level, just level 90s with like barrows and stuff. And the level 90 is still pretty high level Deadman mode, I'd say. So, because if you die at like 126, you're losing a bunch of experience and you're going down levels, right?
Mm-hmm.
So anyways, you'll see a lot of these people, and I found a lot of them were really nice to me, and they would give me a bunch of free items, and they'd be like, okay, here's some tips, add me if you need help, we'll come to your aid. I was like, okay, cool, sweet. But for as many people who are nice, there's just as many who are cunts, where like, I forget what I was doing, but I was just walking somewhere, and I was in like pure noob gear, and I was like level 25 or something, or 30, and actually probably higher, because yeah, it is accelerated experience. You're leveling pretty fast. So again, that's what makes Deadman mode kind of cool, is that you can grow levels pretty fast, but be prepared to lose them.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the problem. 4 people came up and ice barraged me and killed me, and they were like a clan or something. And I was just like, and they took all the items out of my bank, so I was like, I had to rebuild, and I was like, man, but why?
Yeah.
So you got to play smart, though. You can't just walk like, oh, no one will hurt me, because I got kind of cocky. I bumped into like 4 people who helped me out, and I was like, oh, there's no one who's gonna kill me. And next thing you know, bam, I died.
Yeah, it's funny that you say that, though. In Season 2, I think my biggest mistake was helping out so many people. I helped out so many, sorry about that. I helped out so many random people that, not random, but like friends or people that were in the CC at the time, that like, it definitely set me back a little bit, not too much, but enough to like against the top players, or like the people that are better than me, like that little setback actually kind of like snowballed into something a lot bigger. Like, oh, now I don't have enough money to, buy this, and now I'm kind of like, now I gotta go find a way to make money, or, like I'm killing green dragons and now I can't bury all the bones. I need to collect X amount to be able to buy like this piece of gear or something like that. But like, I don't know. I find, to be good at Deadman mode, you kind of have to like, it's good understanding of the game. Like, you gotta like know all the quests. Like, okay, this is like, let me plan out, the first, 6 hours, let's say you want to play now, and you want to plan out the first 6 hours so you can get like the maximum amount of like efficiency while you're being safe. You gotta know how to pretty much Iron Man through, or unless you're gonna swap gold or something, but essentially like Iron Man for 6 hours and get that edge to be like, all right, now I can kind of not hold my own, but I can, I'm open to do a lot of things that will actually like eventually lead to me PKing or being able to hold my own if someone attacks me.
Yeah. And again, it's like we were saying before, Deadman mode the idea of Deadman mode is really cool. It's just, it's hard when you don't have the most time and you're having to choose, do I play my main or do I play Deadman mode?
Yeah,
so
exactly.
It's a really cool thing, and I'm glad the 6 hour thing is put in, and I hope they continue to do improvements to the game to make it more friendly to the casual players, but as well as also not making it too easy for casuals, right? Gotta find a balance. So I just want to say though, I had my other experience with Deadman mode was Season 2 as well, because me and Deegan actually both decided, let's both play this, and then we had some friends that decided to come, and friends who never even played RuneScape was like, hey, that sounds like a cool idea. I want to try this out.
and they kind of dug it for a bit too. But then the problem is, like, I feel like you have to make a choice. You play it because as soon as the tournament starts, you have like 4 Dead Man Mode seasonal worlds that are just full.
Yeah.
And all these people, so it's really cool. You're all starting at level 3. It's really fun. And you're all running to one specific spot to do something. So my season 2, I decided, let's get agility up because it sucks to fucking have to walk around all the time. So run to fucking Gnome Stronghold, do that. A bunch of people are doing that. You can get agility really fast. So then the thing, you just want to pick something and be the first one there. So if you're not able to get on right away, sort of deal, let's say you can only get on a day later, you should wait a week for when they put the 6-hour thing in place.
Yeah.
Because that, even being behind by just a bit, there's a lot of people who will get a lead and they'll just secure choke points of, handing in certain quests or crossing certain areas. Well, they'll be able to just mow down people, and then they just, make the gap even, farther. So
briefly go over what's your, if you could play Deadman mode right now, let's say, with your 6 hours, what are you going to do? Let's go over it briefly. What's your game plan starting off?
Right now, you're logged in right now. What are you going to be doing?
I would honestly, I think I would I'd go to Varrock. I would get a bunch of teas from I'd pickpocket men and go to the tea stall, get a bunch of teas, and then I would go do Stronghold Security.
Yep.
And then with that money, I'd probably buy a bunch of mage, I'd buy the fire staff and a crap ton of fire strikes. And then I'd go kill lava dragons or something.
Why? What's the what skills are you trying to level first? What's gonna
so you want to think
what do you think?
If you want to,
and what skills are you protecting?
So the skills.
Oh wait, I want to say we should do this before. There's also for a fee, I think it's like 1 mil, something like that. You can put insurance on your health, which kind of protects it as well.
Yeah, it's got to be at 75 or higher. Yeah, I probably should have mentioned that, but I think right off the bat, I would the 2 skills, skilling skills, I would I pretty much have always thought that you should protect is agility and thieving. Agility because it's such a useful skill with the run energy, and then you just have escapes just with shortcuts and all that stuff.
Okay.
That's super huge, and agility is not too bad with the experience. You can get 50 agility in an hour or 2, maybe 3 hours. It's really easy. And then thieving, just because it's a skill that you use to rebuild. You can thieve food, you can thieve seeds, which you can use the seeds for, you can pretty much invest in, your farm crops. You can end up putting money or have your rebuilds in farms. That's what I've done in the past. Mm-hmm. And it does pay off. But thieving's really good for rebuilding in terms of money and just food and stuff. I've always liked them a lot more. And you can skill both those skills safely. I think that's a huge point. With woodcutting, there's no safe zones you can really, you can't safely cut yews or magic trees, anything useful. So it's kind of not really worth it to save those. And plus you need a hatchet, right? You don't need anything to thieve or do agility. And then I think right off the bat, I would just, maybe protect magic and just health. Just if you're just doing magic, just why not protect your health at the same time? Or maybe even prayer, because I was going to say you can kill the lava dragons, bury their bones, and plus they do have a good drop table. And I think the prayer is huge, and you get a lot of magic experience, and you can safely kill them if you stand in the right spots and whatnot. And it's 6 hours, right? So you can save the bones if you want. So when you run out of runes, or save some of them, you can go back, sell them on the Grand Exchange, go buy more runes, and go back and forth.
If the Grand Exchange is there.
Yeah, well, it is, it's there right now. As of right now, it's been there for a little while.
Is it that they took it out?
It should still be there.
I can't remember.
They might have taken it out for seasonal or something. I mean, not seasonal, the invitationals. Okay. I don't really know, but if not, you just sell them to other people. Lava Dragon Bones are pretty good. Okay. But you can secure high prayer, and if you have 43 prayer before the 6 hours, 43 and above, that is super useful. just because, yeah, you can protect from, you know, any of like the, attack range or melee, which that alone, like, ups your survival from someone attacking you, like by a huge amount. And then the magic level, it's nice. You can teleport, you can high out good items if you want. And it's good that, you know, you can safe spot a lot of monsters safely and whatnot. That's just kind of like off the top of my head, though. It'd probably just go straight to lava dragons or green dragons, but probably lava.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see. For me, first thing I do, I go straight to the. I'm just gonna say let's see. Yeah, if I were to go right now, what I did last time, I went straight to the gnome stronghold agility. Did that till I got bored, so I'd say like 30 or 40.
Mm-hmm.
And then, so yeah, the things I usually protect, I go thieving, and I think I would go Slayer, because I don't know why, I think I would want to try out getting some Slayer drops.
Yeah, I guess
cool.
as of right now, Slayer would be really good, just because, yeah, with the new buffs and whatnot, and it is kind of a bitch to level. Like, Slayer would probably be a pretty good stat to save.
Yeah, you know what? Mentioning the Slayer buff or update, I've done so much Slayer this week, and I haven't got any elite spawns, so that sucks.
Oh, really?
Anyways, whatever, yeah. I just thought of that now, I didn't notice.
I mean, I haven't got one, mainly because pretty much right off the bat, I fat-fingered 34 Slayer tasks for the Bandos boss, and I don't have enough points or anything.
Right.
I have no points, can't cancel it or anything, so...
Still stuck on it.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, let's get some listeners out, and we'll all go kill the fucking Bandos together.
Yeah, I gotta get my stats up a little bit more, and then I'm gonna be good to go.
That's next week's event.
Yeah. Watch me die at Bandos, watch me get two-shotted and fucking quit.
Oh, yeah. Anyways, so then for combat stats, what I would protect, I remember talking to people about it before, and you want to protect your health, but I think I protected health and defense, because those two are going to help you, like, keep you alive the most. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think that's what I did, but I think I would probably do ranged in health or ranged in defense. I'm not sure which one. Probably pick one of those two.
The main reason, I'm just gonna say this quickly. The main reason why I, like, right off the bat, I would say protect magic, if you're going down, like, a mage route, is that, like, magic also gives you better magic defense. So that, like, the biggest threat is Ice Barrage. Like, you can run away from someone with a DDS spec. It's really hard to run away from someone with Ice Barrage.
Yeah, that's true. Okay.
But yeah, sir, go on.
No, that's about it. I guess there's really not much more to talk about in Deadman mode.
Well, how would this? If you could change something in Deadman mode, like one thing, to, like, help keep the game alive, or, like, yeah, just increase, like, the population, what do you think you would change?
Good question. The problem is I don't play enough, so I would want it to... I'd want some benefits so I'm not so far behind. That being said, I don't know. I wish there was a way to make it so when you die, it's not so detrimental. You know what I mean? Like, the worst thing is just, like... If you look at my bank right now, my main, I try to have, like, every single item that I might ever need to use. I have every single rune. I got placeholders for all of them.
Mm-hmm.
Every single type of rune. Yeah, rune, sorry. For magic. You got a bunch of different items. The problem is like, Deadman modes, when you die, a lot of times you lose, like, the small things. We're just like, ugh. Alright. So I don't know. I want it to, like, be punishing when you die, but I don't want it to make you want to quit. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So, like, something like what I was thinking, and not originally my idea, like, a lot of people have talked about it before, but I actually do think it's a good idea. And these are just, like, random numbers. So, yeah, keep in mind, not my idea, random numbers. So, yeah, but... What if they added, like, a cap on experience? So let's just say, like, 3 mil experience a day, even though that's really high. Okay, let's say, 1 mil experience or 2 mil experience a day. that's how much you can get, but you can keep playing, but you just can't keep getting experience. And so, like, obviously, if I'm playing 10 hours and you're playing, 5, and we each hit, like, 1 mil experience, or whatever the cap is, since I keep playing, like, I get better items and whatnot, and more money. But yeah, if they can cap experience, that, and like, on the other hand, like, so let's say you've played every single day, and you've got 1 mil experience, or whatever the cap is, every single day, for, like, 10 days. And then I come in on day 10, I'm like, oh, I want to try it out. Like, you have, all this experience that's on me. So why not make it like, let's say I miss whatever day I miss and haven't, like, got any experience on or anything. I would say, let's get 500k, like, give you half the amount of, like, obtainable experience. So, like, and then you can just kind of put in whatever you want, or maybe, you can only put X amount in. But like, yeah, experience that you get to play around with generally. It's just to make it so, like, okay, you put in the time, so you're rewarded. I come in late and I'm not getting fucked. Like, I am, because you have all the items and stuff, but in terms of, like, levels and experience, like, I'm gonna dump them all into, prayer, and now I can protect, or I put them all in, thieving, and now I'm gonna go thieve this shit. Like, it doesn't really matter what you put it in, but just the concept of, like, yeah, just hard capping experience, and then just, like, a 50% experience, like, grant to someone who's like trying to catch up, and depending on which day they get in, or if you miss certain days, you catch up to them. And they could also add it to, like, yeah, let's say you hit the cap of experience and then you end up dying. You can still go back up to what your experience was in those stats. So it's not like I've capped and I've died and now I'm at a disadvantage, or I've died 5 times. Now, hey, look, this guy hasn't played today and he got more experience than me. Like, you can still put in the hours and get back up to, like, whatever stats you had and experience you had. So I don't know, that's kind of like what I've heard people talking about before, and I actually really like the idea, just because if you put in the time, you can clearly see it in the person on what they're wearing. But if you don't have the time to put in, you can still get on and do something. What do you think about that?
Yeah, that's an interesting idea. As you were saying that, I was thinking, okay, this is what I think would pull me in to make me a, big play. And this is, part of it would be fun, part of it would prevent my biggest gripe. When you're saying what I hate the most about Deadman Mode, I was thinking is, I hate fucking having to do the quests over and over again. I don't want to do Desert Treasure again. I don't want, you know what I mean? Like, I barely want to do it on my main. And then I'm looking at my peer being like, maybe, you know what? He's just not going to do magic. He's not going to be a magic peer. Because some of the quests are kind of long and tedious, and, like, with Deadman Mode, it's going to wipe all over again.
Yeah.
Bam, you got to do them all over again, and, like, there's some people who haven't memorized, and, can't do it. Fuck that. It drives me nuts. So anyways, this is my proposal. Here's my suggestion. You can tell me what you think. So, every season, they do some tweaks to it where they change some of the game. Like, I remember we were saying it before, but maybe have, one tweak where they removed, I think they actually did this, but they removed Zulrah, right?
Yep.
So let's say the next season they removed, God Wars completely out as well. They did stuff like that, just remove things out. Next thing the next thing they tweaked is they removed Desert Treasure quest from you're not able to do it, so no one can use Barrage. Little tweaks like that, but nothing too, massive. But do a bunch of, like, little ones as well. And I think it'd be cool to have, going along with those tweaks, is having you pull some quests that you can't complete out, but also make it when you start off, random quests are already done, and have them change every time. Because, like, this way I can look at it and be like, oh, I have to do Desert Treasure, but hey, I've already done, 4 of the quests, that I have to do before it. So, that's what I think, maybe. Maybe do some tweaks where, yeah, they remove some things. Maybe, one season they'll remove fucking a bunch of Slayer monsters completely out. You know what I mean? Just
like, make each season, like, clearly different.
Yeah, so now you can't just, there's no cookie cutter builds. You're suddenly, shit, well, I don't want to rush to do Barrows because they took Barrows out of the game. So maybe, you know what I mean? Stuff like that. So,
and I think that would pull me in more because, like, maybe go alongside with what you're saying as well, because this way I will continue playing because it's going to be interesting every single time. And with your idea, I want to be able to catch up as well if I'm not able to play every single day. If I can only play maybe for 2 hours. So, yeah, okay. I guess is there really anything else to go over for Deadman Mode? I can't really.
Well, I was just going to mention about, like, my little idea. I think one big thing is, like, when, like, a lot of people say, like, you should just put, like, locks on quests and stuff. Like, you can't do Desert Treasure for 2 weeks, let's say. A lot of people suggest that, and I actually think
that's a good one too.
But like, I actually have like a really opposite opinion. I actually think that's like a real, like, not a like awful idea, but I think like the concept is good. But what would actually happen was the day Desert Treasure's released, how many clans are going to be set up throughout that quest just killing people? You know, the strongest guys will get it done, and then no one can do Desert Treasure for the rest of the month because like, yeah. So I was thinking if you have like hard caps on experience. Like, however much experience it takes to get Ice Burst or Ice Barrage, like, that, like, really slows you down. Like, it's not, like, you can get all the quests done if you want, you can get all these certain quests done, but you can't really make use of, say, unlocking Desert Treasure. You can't really make too much use of it if you, at the time, can only have 50 magic or something, or 30, you know what I mean? Like, an X amount, like, I don't know, it would still be, it would be nice to, like, have hard caps on people, but not through like content, just in terms of like, getting experience. But yeah, that's pretty much.
That's cool. I like both of them though. I can see the problems being with like locking Desert Treasure and stuff, but at the same time, I don't know. They have to figure a way to get around it. So I do like both ideas. It'd be cool to incorporate them.
Yeah, exactly.
Cool. So, yeah. Now with the 6 hours in place, I might actually try it. Maybe, anyone who's listening, if you guys want to jump on and play with us, maybe we can get a little clan going so we actually have a surviving chance. Fuck, who knows? Maybe we'll be in the last 2,000, which isn't too big of a dream because a lot of people do quit, and sometimes you can able to just get by with the skin on your bones. You know what I mean?
I mean, I don't have the 6 hour immunity, but I'm totally down. If we have a group of people that want to play, I'll dick around with them. Why not?
Cool. Yeah. Okay. That'd be cool. So if anyone is interested, we can play together. We can all work together. Share items and maybe do shit like that so that we're not at such a disadvantage.
Yeah. I'll trim your guys' armor. It'll be sweet.
Yeah, man, you can trust me, but I need to see you prove it. So
yeah,
trust me, 2 mil minimum.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. All right, well, should we slide on into the Iron Man segment?
Yeah, I think now's the time.
Boom. All right, so last week's challenge, it was whoever can get the most experience overall, like total experience. The restriction being we cannot leave the wilderness. So it's a throwback to our first episode, and we're going to do that every 5 episodes, 10 having a little bit of a twist. Right? So, Deegan, how'd that go? How'd that week go?
It went pretty...
You know what? We never actually ever say how long we play, but we usually decide on how much time we have and how busy our schedules are and how long we're going to play. So this week we both chose 5 hours. It's a very small amount of hours, but it's only because it's to balance out everything we do. So yeah, we chose 5 hours. Deegan, what'd you do with that 5 hours?
Yeah, let me clarify though. For the Iron Man challenge, it was just all experience and whatnot had to be done in the wilderness. We were able to leave it and whatnot, right?
Yeah, the only thing you could do is walk to a bank and take items out, but you can't do anything with those items until you cross the ditch or you enter the wilderness.
Okay.
So if you want to,
can I buy items and then just to use them out in the wilderness?
I wasn't thinking so. Why did you?
Oh, that's really awkward because I kind of did that. I may or may not have bought some things for the wilderness.
How much you buy?
1,000 fire blasts.
Fire runes?
Fire blasts. So 1,000 mines and 2,000 airs.
Okay, well, I would say nope. Man, there's 2 places you can go in the wilderness that sell runes.
Wait. Oh, shit. Yeah, you can go to the Mage Bank, eh?
There's the Mage Bank, and then there's a guy right out Edgeville that sends you to the Abyss for rune crafting.
Oh, whoops.
I guess that's not a big deal.
Yeah, that's all I really
Anyways.
bought. Whoops.
Fuck it. That's close enough. We'll move on. But yeah, what'd you do with the 5 hours?
So I actually spent like the first hour like running around and exploring because I was at like a family member's house just for Thanksgiving. Like I went down there and I couldn't record or anything. So I just ran around and explored for the first hour and I just kind of like figured out what I wanted to do. And so I went back and I got like my rune scimitar, my mithril chain and all that stuff to my melee setup. And I went and killed chaos roots for a little while. Just because I have a druidic ritual, so I can get like the prayer, I can get the herbs, and obviously like the melee experience. So I did that for a little bit, and eventually I ended up going up to one of the graveyard where the black unicorns are, and I killed them. I killed like 27 or so of them for the unicorn horns for like later on. So I can end up using the dust. And then I went, grabbed all my mage runes, and I went and bought like 1,000 extra casts and whatnot. I went to like that Edgeville dungeon again, but I went to the black demons. And I pretty much just killed them for the rest of the time. I was just killing stuff, mainly.
Okay, cool.
But I was gonna say with the black demons, I ended up getting two defense potions, which is kind of annoying because they're rare. So those could have been like rune helmets and chain bodies.
Oh, really?
But on top of that, I also got a rune chain body.
Oh shit, that's a good.
I killed I think I got 50 kills or something.
Fuck, so that's like, not bad at all.
Yeah, I got really lucky. I didn't even really go there for the rune. I just went there because demons in general just have like a negative bonus to magic, so you're gonna be hitting more often. So I was kind of like, more experience, and
Cool.
Yeah, so what about you, though?
For me, you go in there, and there's a lot to do, but it's like I said at the beginning of the episode, fucking a little bit of a hump where there's a lot we can't do, and you're kind of blocked behind small little level barriers. So I kind of start off and do the same thing I did last time. I just went and I went fishing some shrimp at the bandit camp, and then I'd run back, and there's nothing really worthwhile that I could kill, so I was killing thugs, kind of hoping maybe a clue scroll will drop just for later on, or maybe some runes or something, I don't know. I didn't really look up what they had, so I was just killing them, growing some levels, and then I'd run back, fish some more, come back, and then I bought Stardew, so I did that for a bit, and then I decided, there's gotta be a place. So thugs drop copper ore. I think it was the thugs. So I decided, there's gotta be somewhere to get tin. So I kind of explored a bit. I went to every little mining spot on the map and nothing, not even copper, just iron is the lowest, so you're like so close but so far. And all the monsters I'd walk by, I'd kind of Google them, see if they drop tin, and there's a handful of monsters that drop copper ore. It's just like, fuck, man, there's nothing. So then I decided maybe I'll go kill some chaos druids, maybe I'll check to see what monsters are there, maybe I missed something that drops tin, or maybe there's some tin I can mine there. Nothing, but I go there, kill the chaos druids, collect the herbs, just because I got Druidric's ritual done, so I can do herblore stuff now, so let's collect some of the herbs. And especially with an Iron Man, I know Ranners is something that you're constantly in need of, and you can never have enough of them. So, killed them for a bit, and I'm still at a level where I need food, so I have to run, and I got sick of running all the way to the bandit camp, which is, what is it, like 14 wilderness or something? But it's a pain in the ass when you're getting shrimp, they heal, 3s at a time?
Yeah.
So I decided, you know what? I'm going to fish a shit ton and kind of stock up, and then I'll go kill them. So I went and brought my looting bag, fished a bunch of shrimp for a while, brought it back. And then I got Stardew Valley, and I was like, I'm going to be cheap and try to pull a W. I'm going to pull kind of like a little cheese move. It's cheese the end of this challenge. So I'm playing Stardew Valley, and I just decided I'm going to cut a bunch of oak logs and burned them for like an hour. I did that, and that's a really fast experience. So,
It's kind of worried now.
that's all though. I'm pretty sure I'm not missing anything.
So I should mention this before you go when you watch my recordings, because I actually forgot until you started talking. I may or may not at one point have ran to Port Sarum, bought 1,000 Eye of Newts.
Oh, are you serious?
And then I made 25 attack potions, but I already deducted the experience off of my total.
That's something that I had a shit ton of Guams, and I was like, man, I only got 2 Eye of Newts. And I think it's skeletons. It's like 1 out of 500 on the skeleton drop table. So I was like, oh, let's go do it. And then I decided, no, let's not do it. That's a terrible idea.
Yeah,
so
I already
tried to
deducted
add
the
this
experience.
When I was running around looking for the ores to mine and just exploring a bit, there's a place between the bandit camp and kind of the bank where you're running. So you could probably get on a path, but there's about scattered out, there's 15 bronze arrows. So I collected like 100 of them, and I like world hopped a bit and stuff. And I was like, let's get my range up a bit, because you got your mage up. Maybe I can get a lead with range. Let's just see. I go back and I get my fucking. I don't have my short bow anymore, so I get the novice bow or the training bow.
Yeah.
And like go back out there, and you can't use bronze arrows.
Yeah, you can only use the training arrows.
Yeah, so I was like, oh fuck this game. And then that's when I went and
did the oak logs.
Did some oak logging.
Yeah, when I got the rune chain body, and I went and I looted it, and I went back to keep killing more, and I saw, so at this point, I'm like, I think I'm 40, yeah, I was still level, yeah, okay. I was like level 40, like 5 or something, like close to what I am now, and yeah, I see a guy that logs in, same level as me, on the other side of the pillar. He's a pure with a dark bow. And he gets hit by a black demon, and I just like, alright, and I just fucking teleport out, like, I'm not fucking with this. I just got my rune chain body, look him up on stats, and he was just like a pure ranger, and the guy actually could have one-shotted me, because I was at like 20 health, because like, they would hit me every now and again. And I was kind of stingy with my food, but after that, I just started bringing telegrabs, so I could just hide and just grab my loot and not take damage.
That's a good idea. See, I gotta get my mage up just to do that sort of stuff. So, Before we progress, though, with our 10th episodes, we're gonna have like a bigger kind of bigger cash stack to lose. I guess I don't know how else to say it. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Do you want to do it so it's like double for every 5th episode, or do you want to just leave it standard?
Yeah, we can do that. I mean, why not?
So instead of 100k, it's 200k this episode?
Yeah.
All right.
So, okay, let's hear what your total experience is. Did you do the calculations?
Yeah, so after subtracting Herblore, and then I accidentally did one teleport in not the wilderness, and so I took that out too. But yeah, after all of that, so I started off at 176k experience.
I don't have that written down. I just have how much I've gotten.
Oh. Yeah, but I finished on 253k experience. I'm rounding down to like the lowest 1,000. But yeah, in general, I made 77.699. So yeah.
What?
Yeah, I made 77k. Actually, I should take off 625. So we'll just say it's 77k on the dot.
Where'd you get all your experience from?
Magic, dude. Magic, bearing bones.
Oh, that's bullshit. See, I thought I felt bad about doing the oak log shit.
Yeah, well,
fuck that. The magic's a good one.
The chaos druids, they do, like, you get good experience, and like I bring a little food just in case I get attacked.
Yeah.
And like that, and plus I can clean my guams and stuff, which is it's only 3, but it's still nice. And,
okay, fuck.
Yeah, and then I started, and plus the prayer too, right? I was bearing all the bones I could.
Yeah.
And yeah, like I should have taken note what my magic was. I think it was like 40 or something when I started. And now it's 46.
That's not bad. Okay, so I'm at man, now I feel like an idiot because I was like, let's increase it because I'm probably gonna win this one. 35,200 experience.
Ouch. Yeah,
Damn.
like, magic is really good.
Yeah, I guess that's where it goes. So, what's your combat at?
So right now my combat is 48. Yeah. My highest stat being magic.
Well, no, I'll cut it. Let me see
Okay.
what mine is. My combat's 38, so you're 10 levels above. What's your total level?
Yeah, my highest level is magic, and it's 46.
46 magic, 36 attack, so I'm still 10 behind. What's your total?
Total is 332.
332, 281, and what is your bank value worth?
My bank is 428k.
428, I'm 346.
Sorry, let me rephrase that. 452k. I just checked now.
452, 346. Alright, so you still got quite the lead. I gotta catch up somehow, but I'll gotta figure out something.
Yeah.
Alright, so I've lost 3 rounds, and I'm 400k in the hole. You've lost 2 rounds, you're 200k in the hole. Sound about right?
Yep.
Sounds about right. Okay, so next week challenge. We're thinking whoever can get the most quest points and the restriction, you have to be on a PvP world.
Yeah, like the whole time.
At all times.
Yeah.
So no point can you like, well, I'm just going to go here because whatever. There's 2 PvP worlds though, so you can swap between them. Yeah, cool. Don't really know what I'm going to do. I know I want to complete kind of like some of the big quests, so I don't know if I want to knock some of those off, or I might just be like, hey, fuck it, I'm just gonna do all the lowest quests that I can do, because I don't really want to spend too much time skilling.
Yeah.
That's my problem, but at the same time, I don't want to do quests that I'm not going to benefit from anytime soon, so...
Yeah.
What about you? Same idea?
Yeah, I've there's a quest line I've actually been wanting to do for a while, and if I can get it done during this challenge, then like a couple episodes from now you're gonna figure out why I did it, because I figured out something like really, really sweet. So it's a little cliffhanger.
Alright. Oh shit. Shit. Sounds good. Yeah, it's gonna be fun because one, I know what's gonna suck is if you do die, it's not going to be as easy as, losing a quest item can be a bigger pain in the ass than losing, not some of the harder equipables, but, a lot of items are ways you can get them with the quest items.
Yeah,
So
regardless
through,
if you die, there's gonna be a setback.
Yeah, it's going to be like, ugh.
Yeah.
And I wonder if there's going to be times where you're like, if you're going to quit halfway through a quest and go do something else.
Yeah,
we'll have to see. Cool. All right. So, shall we move on to kind of closing in on this show?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, yeah, we got an email just from our... let me just pull this up here. Whoopsie. Email from Germanicus, the man himself, the winner from last week's episode, I believe it was. So, yeah, he just wanted to write in and say, since we're on the topic of PKing, I know you guys are going to talk a lot about the different styles of PKing. Do you guys mean different builds? I'm very interested, and I recently started up here, and I plan to make it into a low-level range tank, but I hear I will get destroyed by obby maulers and such. Could you guys go into detail for each build one would face and around certain combat levels, such as obby maulers, zerkers, range tanks, anchor piers, defense piers, and any other type of piers y'all can think of? I don't know how I should base my stats for the build I want to know the minimum levels I need to PK effectively. I'd appreciate it. I'm going to look for you guys on YouTube. Oh shit, well that's might be a little ways in the future. But anyways.
He's a time traveler.
So yeah, what I think we're gonna both work, we were talking about this earlier, we're starting to put together like a really in-depth Pures like guide, I guess, because there's a ton of different brackets, a ton of different styles, and a lot of specific styles for specific brackets, and then there's just a ton, and then there's a ton you see more than others just because they're easier to make and they're more effective and maybe aren't as hard to use. But yeah, Pures is a really sweet concept. I love how MMOs can have accounts that are specific or specifically meant for something. For instance, World of Warcraft had this. I believe it stopped after Burning Crusade, but they were called Twinks,
And let me just explain real quick. With Battlegrounds, which is what their PvP was, the brackets always went from 1 to 9, 10 to 19, etc. So if you could get one of your characters to level 19 or 29, he'd be, top level in that bracket, and you try to get him really good weapons, and you just keep him there, and it's just to wreck people. So yeah, RuneScape has a similar one. Fucking Maple Story does. If you ever played that, Dexless Sins, you know what I'm talking about.
Oh yeah.
Oh, good times, good times. So, yeah, I guess
I will cut in and the Germanic, or however you say his name, he was asking if like a low level range tank is good. I'm gonna say from what I've seen and like from when I've fought them and whatnot, they at low levels they're not that good. Like kills just won't happen depending on free to play or members. But like in general, if you're like a low level like range tank, like
low level pures, the only thing you're gonna see and stand a chance against are 1 defense, because
I mean
they'll have higher stats, and then when you have the 1 defense, then you have different brackets from there.
Like because you guys kind of have to think about like how you're gonna kill them, and if you just have like say 40-40 or something like that, it's a really bad example, but in general, it's like really hard to finish them off. But that being said, at like high levels, range tanks are like really strong. Like if you're like
not only strong, they're fun and they're cool, because whenever I see one, I'm always just like, cool, yeah, that's sweet. Because quite often what you'll see is, you'll get that to 70 defense, but when I say a range tank, I'm talking like 99 defense, 99 range.
Yeah.
He's got like Tuareg helmet on, Tuareg legs, kind of like that guy I killed, I think it was last week I was talking about.
Yeah,
so
like, you'll always draw attention to people who want to kill you, especially if you're a lower level and you're that douche that wears like trimmed like mithril skirt with 20 defense, and everyone wants to kill you now for that mithril skirt. Like they are really fun to play, but at low levels they're not that good. But if you're planning on getting to a really like a higher level, go for it. Why not? Like it's pretty fun, and you can level them up while you're not really even, like playing the game, right? You can do like AFK methods, like at the Frankenstein creature guys. Like there's ways to level them up, and you do it for fun. But I would recommend that depending on what level you want to like keep your guy at, you should try and like look up on like a combat calculator or something and splash your magic level as high as it can without raising your level itself. Or if you don't care, you can just like do normal magic training methods.
Yeah, the higher level you get to, the less that matters, because your health just goes up naturally over time. So this is what I always recommend to people. Oh, sorry, continue.
I was going to say it's good because it's nice having teleports and being able to use like the options of using like Vengeance or Barrage or something.
Oh
but
yeah.
Also, the big reason why I would say is like people really underestimate like the magic defense and like what it actually gives to you, especially if you're like depending on how low of a level and you're playing against mage pures. Like having like splashed 50 magic that doesn't actually change your level at all, like will like make the fights against people using magic against you like ridiculously easier. Especially, if you're wearing ranged armor and whatnot.
Yeah. No, I agree. And what I always tell people who are thinking about starting a peer or, like, thought about maybe starting a peer versus starting a main, try out 1 defense and go, especially if you want to be a tank, you're not really hurting yourself by getting your 1 defense and only getting your range and magic up. Mm-hmm. And then, because if you're at your minimal stats that you need, and on top of that, you'll be able to PK, and if at any point you're just like, I don't want to face this like low bracket, or maybe the reward isn't worth it. So then you're like, you know what? Maybe I want to be a Zerker. So then you raise your defense to 42. Mm-hmm. But start with the 1 defense, because once you go past once you start raising your defense, there's no going back. So there's a lot of people who start off with a pure 1 defense, turns it into a Zerker, turns it into a D-Herok, which is keeping at your 70 defense, and then eventually turns it into a main. And if you're thinking about making a tank eventually, there's no harm in getting your range up now and then one day getting your defense up.
Yeah.
But the thing with the tank, you're going to want to, that's kind of pays off way later on. Like, you're going to want at least, like, really high defense. You're going to want really high range. It's just not going to work out at lower levels.
Yeah. I mean, like, they definitely, like, regardless, PKing is fun. Doesn't matter which build you're using, or if you're just PKing on your main, it's always fun. But, like, if you are doing it to, like, kill people, and you're, like, really competitive, and you don't want to die, like, it is worth it to, like, look up builds. And if you're planning on getting any defense on a pure, I always recommend looking up the quests that give you defense, because you want to be able to, like, have the option of doing Recipe for Disaster. Let's just say that's a really exaggerated example. And you don't want to not be able to get those barrel gloves because you decided to just kill guards or something till 20 defense. And, so you can quest, I believe, to 45 defense without ever setting your attack style to defense. You can do it through, like, important quests, like, Recipe for Disaster, Fremennik Trials, like, all those. So, I starting off as a 1 defense, like, definitely, like, can't hurt you. But yeah, just kind of, make sure if you want to go with, like, a lower level range tank, just kind of, like, figure out, like, if you really just want to kill people, like, figure out, like, how is that going to be possible? Like, maybe you need, like, a couple friends and you go in the deeper wilderness and, get your level around dragon bots and you just kill them for a little while. Like, just kind of figure out what you want to do with it.
Yeah, so, we're going to be putting together, like, a real in-depth guide on all the different types, maybe the different strategies you want to, different quests you want to do for the certain peak, for the pures and stuff. I don't know how long it's going to take, but hopefully we'll have it done for next episode. We can have, like, I don't know how long this segment can be. We could always release
it in parts. We could always start off with certain level brackets and...
Yeah, we'll figure it out. We'll see how it works out. But, quickly I'll go over the ones he mentioned, just because I'll briefly describe what they actually mean. So I'll just go through the list. He says, is Obby Maulers, it's somebody who uses an Obby Maul. An Obby Maul requires, I believe it's 40 attack. No, I think actually it's 0 attack, just 60 strength is required for it. So there are people who keep their attack at 1 and then use that for a huge high hit. You might not hit often, but when you do, it's going to hit hard. And you're going to be, lower combat level because of the 1 attack and only leveling your strength. So, bam, you got that.
Those seem like some of the most, like, MLG, like, just showboaty type of builds. They always seem so fun because you're hitting them with fast attacking weapons. Or, like, you're throwing darts or something at them, and then you just pull an Obby Maul and you're, like, a level 40, like, hitting 26s and stuff. Like, it.
Yeah, exactly.
It just seems like such a fun build.
Yeah, that's cool. Obby Maulers. Then you also have a G Mauler, because a Granite Maul with its spec, you hit 3 times pretty fast. You need 50 attack and 50 strength for that, so... Boom. Then he says Zerkers. So Zerker is really Zerker helmet. That's basically what it refers to. So it's that, and then it's fighter torso, rune plate legs kind of deal. You need, and then you get 45 defense, because that's what you need for the helmets.
Torso
range tanks, high range, high defense. Anchor Piers. That's something it's not really it's not the best.
It's definitely
it works, but you're going to be at a huge disadvantage. Yeah. But that's basically.
Now, sorry, go.
I'll just say what the appealing part of it is. So you finish a quest. It's the Great Brain Robbery. You get a weapon called the Barrel Chest Anchor that requires 40 attack and 60 strength, or 60 attack. No, sorry, it's 60 attack, 40 strength.
Yeah.
And so what's cool about that is that wanting to use that allows you to use D-Skim, yada yada yada. And also the anchor itself hits just under the amount the D-Herok axe would do. So, it's gonna hit fairly high. The only problem you're looking at there is the level of your strength compared to a Mauler is gonna be a lot lower.
Yeah.
Boom. I'll move right on. Defense pures. I wouldn't say there's anything specifically. There's just the tank. Then there's different brackets of defense. You used to see initiate peers, which were somebody you do a quest and you get this initiate armor, which works as mithril, but it also gives you a prayer bonus. So you'd see people with 20 defense using that. I don't see those that much honestly anymore.
They're in, like, the same realm as the barrel chest anchors. Like, they're just like, compared to, like, Void and Zerkers and just G-Maulers, like, yeah, they're just not that, like, yeah, they don't really stand against them.
Yeah. So, yeah, and that was all he listed. Again, we're going to go through every single type that we know of and things we can think of and things we've seen, because there are accounts I used to watch. There's a person back in the day named Defiled, and I believe it was a girl, but it was a level 45 who had 99 defense, and they would go PKing. And I can't remember which items they had, but they wear full Torags with a Dragon Fire Shield, and the way they would do damage is the Dragon Fire Shield is you're able to activate it, and it'll hit up to 25. And so yeah, there's people that just have like a 99 defense pure, I guess. But
you can actually see defense pures dueling. Apparently it's a fun dueling build, and they'll just DFS first DFS. It's kind of cool.
So
yeah.
It's interesting. So a lot of the best ones are the Obby Maulers, the Zerkers, the Voiders, and like the 1 defense kind of. The other ones like the Anchor Pures, I guess the 99 defense Pures.
The Initiates, all that stuff.
Initiates, stuff like that. They can work, don't worry. Like, that's the thing about RuneScape. It's anyone's fight for the most part. It's just that they're a little bit harder to deal with. And I wanted to say was, with Obby Maulers and stuff like that, you'll see people who will use a Rune Scimitar to attack, people who don't even have any attack and they'll kick. Then there's some people who will bring their range up and then switch to a Maul to KO. So there's like, an Obby Mauler is kind of like what they're using to kill you with, and their means of getting you low enough is, there's a bunch of different ways you could come up with, you know?
Yeah.
So, yeah, we'll give you an update on that next week, kind of how that's come along, or we'll give you the full-on thing. And for YouTube videos, yeah, we're still working on it. We got a bunch of ideas for non-Iron Man related YouTube videos too, but it's taken some time. Like I said, we've both been busy. I had my home renovations, and Deegan's got school, and I have work and stuff like that. So I haven't been able to work too much on it, but hopefully there's going to be a stretch where I can just start blasting them out, and
yeah,
hopefully blasting out something that isn't a pile of shit. So
we'll see. Yeah, exactly.
Cool.
If it's going to be quality, it's going to take some time. And I mean, I've edited videos and stuff, but like they're just silly little things, nothing like actually serious. So, but in general, we're pretty much new to all of this, so like these things do take time. And I think, like, yeah, as a whole, like, a year from now, there will be, like, the content. And I think it's gonna be, like, pretty diverse. Like, I won't say too much now, but, like, me and Dills have had, a lot of, like, pretty doable ideas. And, like, Dills has started on some of it. I gotta get started on it, but...
Yeah, we're working on a ton of cool ideas that...
And it's all gonna be different.
Yeah, they're different. And it's things I haven't really seen done yet. So... Yeah. It'd be cool to have some feedback, as well as some events. We do have some events we were talking about just on the weekend, and things that would be really fun to get together. And
yeah, like community kind of, events.
That's the thing. So every now and then you hear about this, a community event or somebody hosting something, and everyone's like, oh, this is cool. And then I would love to see like something that we could get like tons of people to come out and like do something that's they don't have to worry about, what about my EXP waste, or,
Yeah, because at the end of the day, we all came back to this game at one point to play, and it's like, we're gonna come back regardless. Like, most people will always come back, and it's like, you might as well stop and smell the roses and just, have a little fun.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, we got a bunch of cool ideas, and I guess we'll start dropping more on it as they come to bloom, I guess.
When they become more than just ideas, and they're, like, pretty much set in stone, then we'll start releasing.
Cool. Yeah, so that's exciting, and really looking forward to it. I might have to take some vacation time to work on these YouTube videos, but let's just not tell my boss that. I'll tell him I'm going to Mongolia to participate in the throat singing competitions. Yeah. I wanted to practice it and try to do it on the show.
My friend can actually do it. It's really weird. He's tried teaching it to me. Yeah. You're supposed to like do it kind of in your diaphragm as opposed to your voice box.
Yeah, I always go through these weird phases. I remember there was a week where I was trying to learn the didgeridoo, and it turned out, I guess you need a didgeridoo that's not bought from, like, some flea market, because it might have, like, huge cracks, and had holes in it and stuff, and, like, yeah, it's... I was getting alright. It was getting there. It'll be a skill one day.
Yeah, maybe next intro it'll just be Mongolian throat singing to the RuneScape intro tunes.
I think it's time to close this up. I think that's what that means.
Yeah, I think that's the end of that.
All right, guys. So, if you have any, please write in all emails or like any questions, suggestions, or stories you want to share with us, or feedback, especially to, feel free to email them at thewilderness.podcast@gmail.com, or you can Twitter us. I'm not really good at the Twitter thing, but I'm trying here. I'm trying.
Yeah, we'll figure it out as we go along.
The Wilderness, or at the Wilderness RS. And check out our Facebook group by just searching the show. Join in, because I think I'm thinking of some of these events and stuff like that. The best way to get people to might be Facebook, or I don't know, Facebook, or maybe just email and make some like something. Anyways, whatever. Never mind. All right, guys. Thanks for. Oh no, wait. Sorry. And let us know if you want to join our Discord. We got some people hanging out here now. You can jump on if you feel like, doing some bosses. Maybe you've never done bosses before, you want to go PKing, or you just want to fucking woodcut and talk to some people. Feel free to jump in and join the conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah, and anything you want to say before we get out of here?
This week's gonna get pretty hectic for me for school, but I think I have I don't know. I'm going to be able to NMZ, I'm pretty sure, through most of it, so I'll be able to get some good progress, hopefully.
Oh, thank God.
But, I'm going to try and clear it out before Saturday. I'm going to try to have all my work done, so I at least have a day and a half to, like, start working on some of the things I want to get going.
Yeah.
But,
and we'll talk more about this Pures guide, because as I talk about it more, there's so much to it, we might have to do, like, our own separate episode kind of deal.
Yeah.
And you know what? Yeah. Another thing I want to say is, I guess it won't matter if you're already listening to this, but maybe we'll put some of the shows on YouTube, because I know that some people might prefer to do that, but
yeah,
I've always been a downloading kind of guy.
Yeah.
For this,
and I mean, yeah, like I do think like a lot of the content that like we do create on YouTube we'll mention it on the podcast, but I don't think we'll talk about it and then upload it. Like it'll kind of just be there, so you can kind of like watch or listen whenever. Because there's so much stuff that like we can cover that these podcasts would end up being like 5 hours long if we went over like all the pure brackets.
Well, that's the thing. That's what I'm saying. We could do our own standalone episodes. That could be both.
Yeah, that's actually a really good idea.
And stuff like
that.
I
like that.
Well, but I guess you guys will hear more about that next week.
Yep.
Cool. All right, guys. Thanks for listening.
Take
it easy.
Yeah, have a good one.
Bye-bye.